The purpose of this video is to show you two new enhancements to your NewOrg system that are now available for you to use. Both offer you new simplified ways to access the information fields in different areas of your contact records, saving keystrokes and eliminating the wait time for tabs and functionality to display. The first enhancement creates one display form to enter information into multiple fields in different tabs within a contact record, all at the same time, and we call this Face Sheet. Once you see this, I believe you will probably use it for a majority of your data entry into contact records. Let's look quickly at the current entry method, then I will show you Face Sheet, and I believe you will see how huge this can be in reducing your workload and saving time. I have a client named John Beltran who has changed some of his personal information. He has a new cell phone. He has a new job, which also has changed his availability to volunteer on the weekends. He's earning a little more money, and then also he's completed the background check to become a volunteer in the organization, and he was approved today. I'm on our homepage in my demonstration system, and I see that John is a record I've worked with recently. What I would do right now today to get information into his record, I'm mousing over his name, and then I would have to go into modify and change his phone number in here, and then go down into his detail tabs and go into sub-tabs in order to enter the other information. Here's what we're going to do using Face Sheet. You'll notice in your system that along the top of the contact view here that there's a new icon called Face Sheet to the right. Just go ahead and click on that. As I mentioned, Face Sheet opens into a new form, and what you're seeing here is information that would be in your normal view here in the contact view, except that it's opened and it's ready to be edited. So going in and changing a cell phone number is as easy as just mousing over the data that you want to change. As we slide down though, this is where this gets interesting. The sub-tabs that are showing under our details tab here where we need to make changes. Availability, I just click on that. Notice how quickly the fields come up. In this example here for the client example, this is where I would go in and change his information about his income, and then also that puts us needing to change a drop down in terms of his bracket that his family income is in. And then also John was approved as a volunteer. I just click on the plus sign here and notice how quickly it opens up. So I come in here, I can go ahead and put him in as having completed his background check. He was completed today on July the 5th. I'm in the wrong month. Let's go back. July the 5th right there. And we are good to go. This is really all of his changes. I didn't change the cell phone, but we would just change that. I click Save, and it will take us back to his prior page here, and we're actually complete in terms of getting that information in, just much quicker than the current way of going into individual tabs to find those fields. Now that we've seen the Face Sheet view, remember that the fields that we were looking at in that form were primarily in the contact view and some of the sub-tabs down below here. What we weren't seeing were things like his events listing, his donations, forms and surveys, and a few other things. We have some other functionality that was released as an enhancement that I want to show you now that is designed to let you get to these tab areas without having to go into the record and then maybe in the example of events, mouse over events and click on them in order to see the activities that this contact has been involved in. I'm going to go back to I'm going to click on the contacts tab here and go back to where we would look John up. Now his last name is Beltran, so I'm just going to put in B-E-L-T, kind of do a wildcard search, and he'll pop up here. Okay, here he is, John Beltran. Now, here's the new functionality I want to talk about. Normally, I would just mouse over his record if I wanted to go to his record to look at, let's say, his events and activities. We've introduced these icons over here, and they've been on your system for a while, but we hadn't really said much about them. Here's what's key on these. If I click mousing over John's name, I'm just going to go to his contact record with additional contacts, showing the standard view you get when you go to a contact record. And that would be this view up here where it says Open to More Contacts tab. However, if I'm trying to get to John's events to look at some different activities or maybe filter for types of activities he's been involved in, if I mouse over here, having been in John's record here in the contact area, it will take me to his contact record and actually open up the Events tab. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now so you can see how that works. Okay, so I've opened up John's record, but it's actually opened the Event tab rather than the More Contacts tab. So that is really significant in terms of saving you a couple keystrokes and the time to get there. Okay, returning back here to the contact view, we see John as a match again. Now, we had just moused over his icon here, which took us to the Events tab. The one to the right of that on the top row would take us to his donations and payments. This tab in the lower left would take us to the custom fields page, but we would still need to click on the different specific subtabs in order to go into those fields and access them. Whereas you saw in Face Sheets that you can click on the plus sign and very quickly they open. This field here is for surveys and forms if you want to go directly to forms that John has completed or surveys. And then now also here, the bottom right is Open to Face Sheet. So I can go from a contact match here in the search area directly to his face sheet. I just clicked on it. And you can see we're back to the face sheet. So it can be accessed both at this level here in terms of a contact match, or once the contact is open, you can click on the icon above the contact information box. What I'm hoping you see is how you can change any or multiple fields within a contact record all at the same time without having to save under individual tabs first by using NewOrg's new Face Sheet tool. Please contact customer support if you have any additional questions.